on, guys? It's K-Dub here with another episode of Crypto Zombie. So today is Thursday, that's right, and if you're in the US, well, happy 4th of July and Independence Day. So that is a celebration over here, and for everybody else, well, it's just a beautiful green Thursday in the market, so we will take it. You can see we had a nice pump this morning, a little bit of retracement, but it looks like we're heading back up again. So the question is, are we going to have the beginning of another massive rally? And also, did Donald Trump maybe accidentally pump the price of Bitcoin? We're going to talk about that as well. Also, the fact that $100 million worth of Tether has also recently been printed. So what does this all mean? What's going to happen to the price of Bitcoin? Are altcoins still in trouble, or are there looking to be potentially brighter skies ahead? Well, guys, if that sounds good, you know what to do. Also, if it's your first time checking out the Crypto Zombie channel, I'm usually not in the box of shame, but thank you so much. And if you're not subscribed, well, we do this literally every single day, even on holidays, you can tell. So thank you so much once again for coming back to the channel. Giving this a quick refresh live, you will notice that Bitcoin dominance is up to 63%, which means that this is pretty much the highest we've seen Bitcoin dominance in about 18 months. Across the board, really doesn't matter where you check it out, but having a look, we do have an $11,805 Bitcoin. Also, really quick, guys, I don't know how the audio is going to sound. The room I'm in is a little bit small, so just bear with me today. I promise it'll be better tomorrow. But anyway, getting back, we do have Bitcoin up 4.33%, $11,805. Now, having a look at some of the biggest gainers, we do have some altcoins up on the front page. We have Lambda, Hypercash, Bytecoin, Energy, Walton, Chain, Raven, Coin, Nebulous, and Tezos all doing quite well. But like I said, Bitcoin dominance is up to 63%. So this is something we're going to have to keep our eyes on for sure. Also, just wanted to mention the Elrond IEO that came out. It looks like even though it's down 4.9%, it is up 1,000% from the IEO. So yeah, that's a 10x gain for anybody that got in on that one. Congratulations. Now, having a look at Bitcoin, this is why we're all here today, to talk about what is going on with this guy. Well, you could see we did break out of this falling wedge reversal pattern, which, I mean, you can't even make this stuff up, guys. It was just so textbook on this one. So currently, you know, it looks like there is a pump potentially due. And if we go back, you could see we have kind of gone up a little bit, although we really need to break above this 11,700 and stay above that level. That was the level that was really important the first time when we broke it back here. So we will keep our eyes on that moving forward. Now, the one thing that I do want to point out, which is actually really good news, is we had the CME futures gap on the way down and we totally filled it. But unfortunately, right after we filled it, we got right to the top and we started coming back down again. So the good news is we filled the gap. I am going to delete this. The potential bad news is we could still be coming down to fill these lower gaps, although I really think that as time progresses, seeing a four-figure Bitcoin is getting less and less likely as time goes by. But you can see right here, we are still in our ascending broadening wedge. We are back above the dotted line, so this is good. Hopefully it will provide support and we will continue our upwards trajectory. Now, yesterday we were talking about this little region right here, right? And I've been saying for the past 2 days now, actually it might have even been 3 days, that we were probably going to see some kind of a pump on July 4th, right? Now, obviously the pump started a little bit farther back on the 2nd, so it really is more of a continuation, but you can see as soon as we had this breakout right here, as soon as we, came out above the resistance, we currently stayed above it. So hopefully that does put us in, I guess calm waters or whatever the term you want to use is, but we are above everything on the EMA ribbon. Very good. I don't really have much bearish sentiment when it comes to that. You'll also notice that we're sitting above all of the major moving averages on the 4-hour. We finally got back above the 50-day moving average. Once again, guys, this is a very good signal. And if we pull back on the daily, we are above the 50, 100, 200, and 200 weekly, as well as staying nice and green on the super guppy. So, coming over to what James Tadardo said, he says Bitcoin just hit its first 30% pullback down from 13,850. There were 8 pullbacks of this magnitude in the last bull market with an average of 98 days between them. He says this could be the dip until November. So basically they're saying we may not see another really good opportunity to buy some Bitcoin like this again until potentially November. And if we went back, and if you guys watched my video, I believe it was 2 days ago now that I put it out, you do notice that on these dips and rallies, you have a 75% pump, 32% pullback. Then we went to a 235% pump with a 40% pullback. Then we had 176 pump, 40% pullback, 165% pump, 30% pullback, and then we had our major 258% pump, right? But that was at the all-time high. But now if we look at what's recently been happening, well, we had our 170% pump, we had a 43% pullback, and it looks like we're starting to go back up again. In fact, just in a matter of 2 days, we've come up roughly 20%. So we've already almost recovered half of what we, had lost in that dip. So you could see how fast Bitcoin moves. Now, I also want to mention the fact that we have had $100 million of Tether that has recently been printed. So what does this mean? Should we be worried? Well, we could see that Tether has basically been printing nonstop since the beginning of April, conveniently when Bitcoin also started pumping. I know, conspiracy time. So we're going to dive in and look at that. But you know what is a beautiful thing? I love to just turn on the Bitcoin comparative and just look at that. Look at that. I mean, listen, I'm not saying I want to see the dollar lose value, but you guys know I clearly hold a lot of Bitcoin. So it is nice to see, the dollar, I suppose, losing the value to the Bitcoin, since Bitcoin is really the currency that we're rooting for here, right? Now, super quick, I do want to just put this in just because this could affect you. Binance says that they're going to change their USDT Tether deposits and withdrawals to be only ERC20 based. So that means no more Omni layer. So please make sure when you send your Tether that you are using an ERC20, which means it is an Ethereum-based Tether, and you're not using Omni-based Tether. However, just to let you guys know, they are slowly, from what I'm aware of, migrating off of Omni onto ERC20, and then they do have some on Tron as well. So hopefully this will just sort itself out, but please be careful. If you don't know what you're sending, double, triple check, or just use another stablecoin like USDC or Paxos or something like that, okay? But you can see here that we do have about $3 billion worth of Tether that has flown into Bitcoin in the past 24 hours, with about $1 billion worth of actual US dollars themselves, which is up from what it was yesterday and the day before, where we were only putting in the high 100 millions, right? So that's really good moving forward, guys, definitely. But the downside is that the really upsetting side is for anyone that's holding altcoins right now. Everyone keeps going, well, the altcoins have to start taking off soon. I mean, we've seen some pops here and there, but as you can see, I know my box is probably in the way, but scrolling down here, if we look at the Bitcoin comparative, there are not many coins that are up. I mean, Binance is up 0.5%, Tezos 5%, Hypercash 9, Raven 4, Agrisha 1, Lisk 0.3, Energy 6.18, but guys, for the most part, Lambda 10. But you could see, I mean, compared to what Bitcoin is doing, guys, it's really difficult to keep up with the Bitcoin comparative. So, as Max says, not looking to play any new alts if Bitcoin dominance breaks up here. And actually, if we come over to the chart right here, you could see that according to the market dominance on TradingView, Bitcoin is well up to about 66%, which is much, much higher than we had in December 17th at the all-time high. In fact, at around December 17th, we were only looking at around 55%, whereas now we're up to 60%. It's 65% currently, 65.75% to be exact. So yeah, what does this mean? Well, it means that if Bitcoin continues to gain dominance, the altcoins are not going to feel the love. Now, a lot of people are saying, well, what do I do? Do I just hold Bitcoin because I can only dollar cost average so much? Well, guys, I've been saying it on the channel for quite some time. If you come over to Bybit, you have the opportunity to both long and short. Now, currently, I would not be shorting Bitcoin. I could be wrong. It could take another crash, but I think we've already had our 30% pullback. But the thing I was talking about yesterday is you can do Ethereum, you can do EOS, and you can do XRP. So you can also long or short some of the altcoins as well while you're waiting for the Bitcoin dominance to pull back, right? Also, friendly reminder, I do have a referral link below. As you guys know, it does help the channel out. I don't require you to use it, but you do get $10 for registering absolutely free, and another $50 when you do a deposit of 0.2 BTC or 6 ETH as well. So I do have a video on that too. If you guys don't know how to use it, I will drop it above. Also, link below. But hey, it's not all doom and gloom. Listen, there may be some potential chance for the altcoins. So check this out, right? So in a blog post, we had SFOX that analyzes the apparent impact that holidays can have during a crypto bull market. And they were saying that they appear to spark fresh FOMO. So you can see that they actually compare it to Thanksgiving of 2017, which was the beginning of Bitcoin's run up from about 8,000 to its peak of 20,000. And you can see in February of 2019, during the 2-week Spring Festival celebrated throughout China, the price to buy Bitcoin also climbed 14%. So this is a question. Is it going to happen again? So they say holiday-driven price fluctuations appear to be backed by Google Trends data for retail interest in Bitcoin. So during the winter 2017 bull run, the United States search volume for Bitcoin surged in the days immediately following both Christmas and New Year. So the question is, now that everybody's probably with their families and friends today, right, taking off the holiday vacation, on a holiday over here in the US, the question is, are those Bitcoin and cryptocurrency conversations going to come up? Let me know. Did any conversations come up at any parties maybe that you were at today? Let me know, and maybe the same thing will happen. They'll look in, they'll see Bitcoin, they'll buy some, and then they'll go, hey, these altcoins are a lot cheaper, right? It could happen. However, we have decided that it's probably not going to be a universal alt season. It's probably just going to be a select handful of alts that have good fundamentals, right? Or, we could just go on to pump and dump season again. But realistically, we're probably not going to see massive altcoin surges until we break above that 20K Bitcoin level. Now, talking about what everyone is discussing, you can find this on Twitter, on Reddit, basically everywhere. So Donald Trump, which I know I'm not actually following Donald Trump on Twitter, which is pretty crazy to admit that, but I mean, you pretty much can't not hear what this guy's tweeting anyway. But anyway, he says China and Europe playing big currency manipulation game and pumping money into their system in order to compete with USA. We should match or continue being the dummies who sit back and politely watch as other countries continue to play their games as they have for many years. So basically, Alex Kruger says Trump just made an explicit call to manipulate the dollar. He wants the lower interest rates, a cheap dollar, and soaring stock markets. So, arguably, he pretty much said buy Bitcoin. You could see Matty Greenspan, he's from eToro, he's been on the channel before. He affirmed his belief that the influence of macroeconomic trends on Bitcoin is already a reality, saying that my understanding is that central bank policy is the biggest driver of all markets, including crypto. So it says the president's provocation set new waves throughout Europe, with one foreign exchange strategy expert telling CNBC that he fears the administration could slap on countervailing tariffs on the EU auto sector, justifying it as a response to what the Commerce Department deems to be certain countries' artificial currency depreciation. So, long story short, maybe this is what he's saying right here. I don't know. Could be, guys. Let me know what you think. But I think it definitely reinstates why I believe in Bitcoin. Bitcoin is not being manipulated. We're not pumping in more Bitcoin. We're not pulling more Bitcoin out. There's only 21 million. There only ever will be 21 million. Potentially 4 million are lost forever. About 44 million millionaires in the world, which means there's not enough for each millionaire to own one Bitcoin. So you guys know how I feel about that. Let me know. I'd be interested. I'm sure we're going to see more developments on this moving forward. Also talking about some quick coin news, guys. I got to make today's video quick because I am on holiday and there is stuff that we need to get done, but I'm in here making a video for you guys because I freaking love you. So Ripple says more than 20 financial institutions are now using XRP-based XRapid. This is a good thing, right? We want them to use XRP because that does create demand for the token. Also, friendly reminder, guys, Deep Cloud AI, they say after a month of vetting through exchanges, we've arrived. We were excited to announce the first public sale on July 18th. This will be on BitMax. Please check this out. Look at the whitelist. If you're looking to get interested, we had Deep Cloud AI on this channel almost a year ago. This has been a project which I believe to be a very legit project in my opinion. They just were going through a really tough time during the 2017 into 2018 bear market, so they decided to hold off on the sale, which might have been a pretty good choice on their part. So hopefully, I was looking to get these guys back on the channel. I don't know if I'll be able to, but I'll try my best to hopefully get them on so you guys can have one more opportunity to, talk to Max and Gita and see what's going on. But I just wanted to let you guys know that that is happening before we go. Also, before we go, banks help launder over $2 trillion every year. That's over 10 times more money than the entire Bitcoin network is worth. Why are they then so critical of Bitcoin, asks Rhythm Trader. Well, a public ledger would mean their worst nightmare. That's right, accountability. And to end on a positive note, the numbers of countries, well, this isn't really a positive note, but it's a positive note for Bitcoin. The number of countries facing economic woes is rising drastically, so in order to mitigate the impact of inflation, nations are looking towards cryptocurrencies as one possible solution, and Cuba is the latest to turn to digital assets. So if you guys want, you can come down here, you can read this, but it isn't the first time we've seen this, right? Even when Trump was potentially saying he might not allow remittances back to Mexico, we had seen an OTC spike over there. We've definitely seen it spiking over in Venezuela. Obviously, it is compared to the Bolivar, but, you know, take it with a grain of salt. It is what it is, guys. So whether or not the fiat is, you know, depreciating or Bitcoin is increasing or both are happening at the same time, in the end, it's probably still a very good thing for Bitcoin. So that being said, my friends, whether or not you are in USA celebrating the 4th of July or you are just simply anywhere else in the world right now enjoying the fact that Bitcoin is currently pumping and that the Bitcoin dominance is at an 18-month all-time high, well, I just want to say, I hope you enjoy your day. Please be safe out there. Please be responsible. If you do hang out with some family members, you know, just, you know, we could talk about crypto, but, you know, don't be overly aggressive, right? We do want to put it in a nice limelight for everybody else. So that being said, guys, I do want to say thank you so much for coming back to my channel. You guys rock. You're the reason that I do this every single day, even when I'm on a holiday, okay? I still make a video for you guys in the little box of shame because I love you and you mean everything to me, and thank you so much. I really do appreciate it. Everyone that's been liking, subscribing, and commenting, definitely be sure to turn on the bell notification. Also, if you haven't joined the Crypto Zombies Telegram group, it's absolutely free. You can hang out and just talk